She said it again, the same 5 words that had become the quiet anthem of our nights. I don't feel like it, it used to sting. Now it just sat there, heavy and familiar like the silence that followed. I stood at the edge of the bed looking down at her, the pale blue glow from her phone painting her face. She didn't even glance up. I tried to smile, tried to make light of it. Not even a little? I asked, my tone soft, almost pleading. She sighed, the kind of sigh that sounds older than it should. Ethan, I'm tired, please. That was it. No fight, no warmth, just a full stop. I nodded, grabbed the car keys from the dresser, and said the first thing that came to mind. I'll go clear my head. As I turned to leave, her sister's voice came from the hallway. Can I go with you? I froze. Lily, her younger sister, was standing by the door, hoodie half-zipped, hair a little messy, eyes wide but steady. She'd been staying with us for a week, supposedly between apartments. I hesitated. My wife didn't even look up. Sure, I said finally. Let's go. The night air hit different, cool, sharp, almost cleansing. We didn't talk for a while. Just the sound of the car tires humming against the road. After a few minutes, she said, You look like you're about to explode. I gave a half laugh. Just one of those nights. She shut you down again? She asked, her voice low but not mocking. I looked at her a little surprised. She talks to you about that? Lily shrugged. She doesn't have to. I can hear things. Or not hear them, I guess. For a moment, neither of us said anything. Then she added, You don't deserve that, you know. The words lingered. I didn't know how to respond. It wasn't something I'd ever let myself think, not out loud. We stopped at a gas station. I went inside, grabbed 2 coffees, and when I came back, she was scrolling through her phone, humming quietly. She looked up as I got in, her eyes catching mine longer than they should have. You always run away when she shuts you out? I set the cups down, took a breath. It's not running away, it's not staying where I'm not wanted, she nodded slowly. That's fair. We drove again, ending up at a small overlook outside town, a place I hadn't visited since before the marriage started to crumble. City lights flickered below like scattered embers. Lily leaned against the window, sipping her coffee. She used to talk about you all the time, she said. Said you were the most patient man she knew. I let out a dry laugh. Guess patience has an expiration date, she smiled faintly. I think you're still that man. She's just forgotten why she fell in love with you. Her words landed softly but with a weight that unsettled me, the kind that blurs lines between comfort and something else. I turned toward her. Why are you telling me this? Because someone should, she said, meeting my eyes. Someone should remind you you're not invisible. There was nothing romantic in her tone, but there was warmth, the kind I hadn't felt in months. We sat in silence after that, the kind that isn't empty but full of everything unspoken. When I dropped her back home, she lingered at the door before getting out. You don't have to keep pretending everything's fine, Ethan, she said quietly. You're allowed to want more than what she gives. And then she left. I stayed in the car for a long time, staring at the porch light, wondering when exactly the marriage had stopped feeling like a place to rest and started feeling like a cage. The next morning felt different. The air in the house carried a silence that wasn't peaceful. It was watchful. My wife moved through the kitchen like nothing had happened, her eyes fixed on her phone, her coffee untouched. Lily sat at the counter scrolling absently, pretending not to notice the tension hanging in the air. Rough night? My wife asked, her tone light but sharp around the edges. I glanced at her. Just drove around for a while. With my sister, she added, not looking up. Lily's fingers froze on the screen for a second, then kept scrolling. I didn't respond. There was nothing to explain. Nothing that wouldn't sound like an excuse. Still, my wife gave a small laugh, the cold kind that doesn't reach the eyes. Well, I hope the 2 of you had fun talking about how terrible I am. Her words hit like tiny darts. I didn't say that, I said quietly. Didn't have to, she replied, standing up. Your silence usually says enough. She walked out, leaving her coffee untouched, and for a moment the kitchen felt heavier than before. Lily finally looked up. She always does that. Pushes and then leaves before you can push back. I shook my head. It's fine. I'm used to it, she studied me. That's the problem, Ethan. That day stretched long. Every room felt smaller. I buried myself in work, emails, anything that kept my mind busy. But her words, "You're not invisible, you," kept circling back. By evening, my wife texted, "Dinner with friends." "Don't wait up." No explanation, no warmth, just a transaction. Lily was in the living room when I got home. She looked up from a blanket on the couch. "She's not coming back tonight, is she?" I shook my head. We ended up sitting across from each other, a muted movie playing in the background. For the first time in months, the house didn't feel hostile. "You ever think about what it was like before?" she asked suddenly. "Before what?" "Before all this. Distance," I thought about it. The laughter, the early mornings, the way she used to reach for me without hesitation. "Yeah," I said. "Every day." Lily leaned forward slightly, her eyes soft but steady. "She doesn't see you anymore." I don't think she even tries. Her honesty was disarming. It wasn't pity. It was truth, raw and unfiltered. I wanted to change the subject, but the silence between us filled with things neither of us wanted to name. Then she said something that caught me off guard. "If she ever does leave you, you'll be okay, you know that." I met her gaze. "You sound pretty sure of that." "I've seen the way you hold yourself together when she breaks you down." "That's strength, Ethan." The words hit deeper than I expected. Nobody had called me strong in years. I stood up, walked to the window, trying to calm the storm rising in my chest. "I don't know what I'm supposed to do anymore," I admitted. "Maybe stop waiting for her to choose you," she said quietly. "Start choosing yourself." It wasn't romantic. It was grounding, like someone finally handing you a mirror you'd been avoiding. A car door slammed outside. Headlights cut through the curtains. My wife was home. She came in, the scent of perfume and laughter trailing behind her. Her eyes flicked between us. The couch, the empty coffee mugs, the closeness of our silence. "I see you made yourself comfortable," she said, her voice dripping with accusation. Before I could speak, Lily stood up. "You don't get to twist this, Claire. You've ignored him for months. Don't act shocked that someone noticed." The room froze. My wife's eyes narrowed. "Get out," she said to Lily, "tonight." Lily looked at me, her expression calm. "It's okay," she whispered. "You'll figure it out." Then she left, and no argument, no glance back. My wife turned to me. "You going to chase after her?" I shook my head. "No," I said softly. "Not her. Not anyone. I'm done chasing," she scoffed. "What's that supposed to mean?" I looked at her, really looked, and for the first time I didn't see the woman I married. I saw the distance, the indifference, the empty years that had quietly replaced love. "It means I'm taking back what's left of me," I said, walking past her toward the door. The night air was cool again, like the first breath after surfacing from deep water. I didn't know where I was going, but for once it didn't matter, because this time I wasn't leaving to escape her. I was leaving to find myself.